that we kick off the call from Down Under with Jason from Fight View, Australia. Jason, please fire ahead when ready.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. G'day, Andrew. How you going, mate? Just wanted to know what weaknesses do you see in Franco's chinks in his armour that you can expose for this fight to win your title back? And if you are successful, will there be a rubber match? And is there a chance that rubber match could come to Australia? Love the patriotism, mate. Love the flag in the background. Good on you.
G'day, Jason. Thanks, mate. Look, it's not so much weaknesses in Franco's game. It's just that I believe all round I'm a better boxer than he is. And I know I didn't show that in the first fight, but I believe that I will show that this Saturday night. And tune in because you're going to see a much better performance from me this time around. In terms of the rubber match, look, I'm not thinking about that at the moment. I'm just 100% focused on winning this fight on Saturday night. And then it's up to Top Rank and my team what happens next. But, I mean, at the moment, I've thought about Franco every day for the last 7 months, and I just want to win this fight and get him out of my head, to be honest. But if the trilogy is wanted and that's what the team wants to do, then, of course, I'll be up for it.
Let's stop right there. I am TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. My colleague Big J on the line. What we're going to talk about now is in about an hour and a half, you're going to have less than an hour and a half, you're going to have the final press conference for Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook and Andrew Moloney versus Joshua Franco 2, or Joshua Franco versus Andrew Moloney 2. So what we're going to do is talk about, preview the fight. Does he have a chance to win? What happens if he doesn't win? What happens if he does? So where do we start? Oh, by the way, the fight here in the States is going to be on ESPN prime time at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to put all the information down below in the description box. And Jay, to start off, can you tell fans over in Australia where the fight's going to be televised?
Fight will be televised on Main Event television. On Sunday, I think it kicks off Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to bring up the information now and actually confirm. Confirm that while we're talking, and I'll make sure I get that before the video is done. Actually, when it's happening.
And over in the UK, the fight is taking place on a streaming service called Premier Sports. Talking to my other colleague Mikey from FE360, he was telling me that it's not a really, well-known or popular channel, but nonetheless, you guys do have access to the fight for what I believe to be $9.99 a month. So let's jump right on into it. In my personal opinion, I'm going to be critical. I don't know if Andrew Moloney has the tools to be able to adjust and win the rematch at 21-1 with 14 KOs. The last fight, it was actually one of the first ever bubble fights, the first ever boxing event to be back. It was June the 23rd, and he lost pretty convincingly, despite the fact that the cards were pretty close: 113, 114, 112, 115, and 113, 114, all not in his favor. So, your thoughts, Big J?
Yeah, I'm to be perfectly honest, the way I'm thinking about it is that I'm sort of like on the fence, but it's a 55-45, but I'm leaning towards Franco myself. I don't, as much as I want Andrew to win the fight, it's that power of Franco that's the real problem.
Yeah.
If Andrew can avoid the power of, he can outbox him. But Franco's a very, very powerful fighter, Andrew suffered a lot of injuries. He had those perforated eardrums, he had the broken nose. If he can avoid those problems, then he's going to be fine. But it's too close to call, personally. It was an upset. Most upsets, when the rematch, the champion comes back and wins. So it's really 50-50. But I'm leaning towards, not much, but yeah, I think it's a really, really too close to call. Really too close to call.
Well, if you don't know, here is where the fighters rank currently. Wait a minute. Andrew's at 122, right? I'm tripping. Joshua Franco.
No, they're 115.
115.
115.
So Joshua Franco, I'm looking right now. Well, Joshua Franco is not ranked at 115 or 118 right now. Weird. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the rankings haven't been updated on here, but basically it's supposed to be leading toward a title shot. Who were they targeting again? Do you remember? German and Cajas?
Yeah, Andrew Moloney. Was looking at getting a unification bout with Gerald and Cajas for a shot at Gerald and Cajas, because before this he was ranked number 6 with the IBF, and Gerald and Cajas have been talking for a very long time about fighting Andrew Moloney. Joshua Franco was actually ranked as a bantamweight. I think he was 7th or 8th ranked with the WBC and the WBA, so he was actually ranked in the top 10 of
I remember that.
the 118 rankings before he got thrown into this fight, because he was just seen as a good stay busy fight for Andrew, and obviously he ended up winning. So there's been a bit of a spanner thrown in the works there, but before the Andrew got promoted to the full champion, he was getting in line to fight Gerald and Cajas.
Interesting enough, though, Andrew Moloney still, these rankings can't be right, because it says here on FightNews.com that Andrew Moloney is still ranked by the number 2 by the WBA. But let me check Boxing Scene's rankings. By the way, I'm going to be updating our rankings on FightView360.com sometime, in the next coming weeks before the new rankings are released for December. So let me check something real quick at 118 to see where. Okay, I'm looking at some rankings here, updated rankings, and right now, nope, Franco or Moloney. Yeah, Moloney's still number 2 by the WBA. Weird. Andrew. Despite losing his last fight.
Okay. I found the information about the fight. It's on Main Event in Australia. Sunday the 15th starts at 11 a.m. So
okay.
There you go. So I just thought I'd throw that in there.
So win or loss? Well, where does Andrew Moloney go? And obviously, should his next fight be over in Australia, as you asked him?
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is he's got to get an opponent out of here, because as I said, there'd be no one for him locally to fight at 115, so he's going to have to bring someone to Australia, which will be fine.
Yeah.
Who are the top contenders at...
Let me tell you, what? They could revisit... Wasn't he supposed to fight Joshua Greer? It was him.
No, that's his brother, Jason.
Oh, Jason is supposed to fight.
He's supposed to fight Israel Gonzalez.
They can still... If he's available... See, what you want to do, as we talked about earlier, is you want to get him a credible guy, someone in the top 15, but not like a step back. You want to because if he does win the rematch, you got to keep that momentum going. And I'm thinking, well, do they just go ahead and give him a title shot against a German Cajas just to see how he does? Because German Cajas hasn't been back in quite some time, and he's due at fight back. But a lot of people would favor in Cajas to beat Andrew Moloney. Because right now, as it stands, he will be fighting for that WBA gold, the secondary WBA belt, which I don't acknowledge, but for the sake of Andrew Moloney, we're going to acknowledge that Joshua Franco is the WBA world champion, with the main champion, super champion, being Chocolatito Gonzalez, and him and Juan Francisco Estrada are going to be fighting each other.
Because he knocked out Khalid Yaffe earlier in the year, didn't he?
Correct.
Yeah, who flat out dodged Andrew for like a year.
But guess what? That'd be even Khalid Yafai would be a great fight for him. If Matchroom and Top Rank were able to work together. But now since we're short on time, we got to talk about what's next if he loses. Does he go back to Australia to rebuild? I mean, how does that work for him? Both of the Maloneys are in a tough spot.
He can't come back to Australia, because, like with his brother, there's no talent at 115 or 118 that would be on their level.
Yeah,
it would be a massive step down. I mean, I can't think of anyone in Australia that at 115. I'd have to do research, not off the top of my head. I only know about probably 2 or 3 guys at bantamweight that are Australian.
Yeah, it's not worth it, man. So they're just gonna happen, man. They gotta. So the rebuilding for both, especially if Andrew loses, because that'll be 2 straight. He's got to go directly into, I wonder what their plan is. I mean, we have to think that Top Rank and his team have a plan for both,
You think so? Well, Israel Gonzalez would probably be the best way to go because he was supposed to fight.
Win or loss, I guess, right?
Big man?
Win or loss, right?
Yeah, win or loss, Israel Gonzalez. He was supposed to fight him in Oklahoma. Was it in April or so? I can't remember, but
Yeah, it was around that time.
Yeah, so sometime in I think Israel Gonzalez win, lose or draw would be the way to go.
Closing thoughts.
It's going to be such a close fight. Obviously, I want Andrew to win, but I just don't know. I mean, you sitting on the fence. I mean, I'm leaning towards Franco. You sitting on the fence, or you think Franco's just going to
I'm going to a Franco too. Andrew's got to prove something to us. They got to prove, and then they got to prove it to us. So of course I'm going to be here on fight night. covering the fight post fight. Also, I'm supposed to be streaming. I'm still waiting on to see if Top Rank is going to be doing a post fight live with Kell Brook, Terence Crawford, and Moloney's. So you have to, stay tuned for that. I'm still waiting on the information. But me and Big J next week are definitely going to be doing a roundup for Andrew Moloney versus Franco. And, I guess to close out this Franco, American or attempted American takeover until the next time they fight. TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. This is Big J. Follow Big J on Twitter at, what's your Twitter handle, Big J?
Old Mate Big J.
Old Mate Big J on Twitter. You can follow me at TstreeT4Life, the number 4, on Twitter as well. Please subscribe.